Hello guys, welcome back to the course. So I felt that the last class was a little bit boring as we only discussed theory. But today's class is going to be interesting. So today we'll learn more about flowchart and we'll solve few problems. So we have already discussed in brief about flowchart in the last lesson. We will continue from that. Okay, so what is a flowchart? So I have told you that it is a diagrammatic, or you can say a pictorial representation of the steps that we followed to solve a problem, and we show these steps in boxes of various shapes. Okay, so let us discuss about components of a flowchart. So if we have oval shape, so it represent initializer or a terminator. Example, start. Then we have parallelogram shape, so it represent input and output, input or output. Example, read n. Then we have rectangle shape and it represent process. Example, let I equals 1. Then we have diamond shape. It represent a condition, or you can say a decision. Let's talk about example. Is I greater than 2? Then we have arrows. And then we have connectors. So why are connectors used? For example, your flowchart is very big and it is not fitting in a single page. So with the help of connectors, we can continue our flowchart from the next page. So I have a question for you. The question is, processor is running in both these cases. Whether you are taking input or you are giving output or you are processing something, processor run in both these cases. So why I am having different shape? The answer is very simple. This is known as waiting process. Waiting process. And this is known as active process. So in the waiting process, if the user is not giving the input, you can't proceed ahead. So in other words, we can say it depends upon user. Depends on user. And it doesn't depend on user. So that's why we have different shape. Okay, great. So that was all theory about flowchart. Now we will solve few problems to get a better understanding of flowchart. So problem number 1, read principal, rate, time and print simple interest. We have to draw the flowchart for the same. Okay, so let us draw the flowchart. So I will start my flowchart. Then I have to read 3 numbers, P, R and T, principal, rate and time. So read principal, rate and time. P, R and T are variables in which I will store the value of principal, rate and time given by user. Then I have to calculate the simple interest, which is equals to P multiply R multiply by T whole divided by 100. SI is also a variable which will store the value of simple interest. Then we have to print simple interest. So we have printed the simple interest. Our work is over. Now we will end our program. So end. So this will be the flowchart. So let us revise what we have done. So the question asked us to read principal, rate and time and print simple interest. So we start our program. Then we read 3 numbers, principal, rate and time. P, R and T are 3 variables which will store the value of principal, rate and time given by user. Then I'm calculating my simple interest using this formula. Then I'm printing my simple interest. Now at this point of time, my work is over. So I'm ending my flowchart. Okay, so let us solve another problem. So problem number 2. So the question is, I have to read 5 number. Read 5 number. And print their average. Print their average. So I have to draw the flowchart for the same. Okay, so what will I do? First of all, I will change the color of my pen. Then I will start my program. Okay, so I have to read 5 numbers. Okay, read A, B, C, D and E. Let A, B, C, D, E are my 5 numbers. What are A, B, C, D, E? A, B, C, D are the variables that will store the value of 5 numbers. Then I will calculate my average using the formula A plus B plus C plus D plus E and whole divided by 5. So I have calculated my average. Now it's time to print the average. Print average. So at this point of time, my work is over. Now I will end my flowchart. So let us revise what we have done. So the question was, we have to read 5 numbers and we have to print their average. So I start my program. I read 5 numbers A, B, C, D, E, and then I have calculated my average. Average is also a variable here that is storing the value of average. Then I am printing average. Then I am ending my program. Okay, great. So let us discuss the last problem of this lesson. So problem number 3. So the problem statement is, we have to print largest of 3 numbers given by user. So let us draw the flowchart. So I will start my flowchart. Then I have to read 3 numbers. Let A, B, C be the 3 number. Read A, B and C. Okay. So first I am checking, is A greater than B and A greater than C? So there are 2 cases. Either this condition will be true or this condition will be false. If this condition is true, that means A is the largest number. Okay, so I will print A. Print A. Now the second situation can be, this condition is false. That means A is not the largest number. Then I will check for B. Is B greater than A and B greater than C? Again, there are 2 cases. Either this condition will be true or this condition will be false. If this condition is true, that means B is the largest number, so I will print B. And the second situation can be, this condition is false. That means B is not the largest number. So at this point of time, A is not the largest number, B is not the largest number. That means C is the largest number. Okay, so make parallelogram shape because we are printing. Okay, so A is not the largest number, B is not the largest number. That means C is the largest number. So we have done what the question asks us to do. Now we'll end our program. So end. Similarly, after printing B, we have to end our program. And similarly, after printing A, we have to end our program. So let us revise what we have done. So the question was, we have to print the largest of 3 numbers. So I start my program. I read 3 numbers A, B and C. What are A, B, C? A, B, C are 3 variables that will store the value of 3 numbers. Okay. So first I am checking. So first of all I check, is A greater than B? If this condition is true, that means A is the largest number. So I am printing A and then I am ending my program. If this is not true, that means A is not the largest number. Then I am checking for B. Is B the largest number? Either this condition will be true or this condition will be false. If this condition is true, I am printing B and ending my program. What if the condition is false? So if this condition is false, I will only reach here if A is not the largest number, B is not the largest number. Automatically means C is the largest number. So I am printing C and then I am ending my program. So we solved 3 problems today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the Q&A section. In the next class, we will continue flowchart and learn new concept with the help of your problems. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I will see you in the next tutorial. Until then, enjoy C++. Thanks for watching.